Okay, so picking up right where we left off, in this video, we're going to have a particle system, and the particle system is going to leave sparkles behind when she charges forward. So, as you can see, there's a new image down here. It's just a 2D um, a sprite. And what we need to do is we need to do a couple things. We need to create a material, and then we need to create a particle system and apply that material to the particle system. So right click, create material, and we'll call this sparkle matte. Click on sparkle matte for shader. We're going to choose particles, and then we'll choose additive soft. Let's see how that looks. And now you take sparkle and you apply it. Game object, particle system, rotate this. Let's try that again. We rotated it towards the screen. We actually want to rotate it that way. Because she's going to be charging to the right, so we want the particle system to be on the left. So a couple of things. Shape. Want this to be less of a cone. Okay. Now we can apply the material. So just drag and drop it, put it right on the particle system, and it changes. So now you can see it's leaving behind sparkles. Really kind of big, but that's fine. What we're going to do is in the particle system, we're going to change the start size. So let's make that like 0.3. Okay. We also don't want it to last that long. Let's make it be, say, 0.8. It's probably fine. Now we need to increase them. There's only 10 coming out at a time. So let's make that like 75. Okay. We also want them to rotate. So, rotation over lifetime. We want this to be, let's do like 270. And you can see they are indeed spinning now. And we could also change the color over lifetime. Like say we want them to become transparent when they disappear. So color over lifetime, click on the color bar. The bottom is the color, the top is the alpha. So if you click here, and you do this, see they become transparent. You don't want them to become transparent too quickly. So what you're going to do is click somewhere up here, and then change the alpha all the way to 255. In other words, from here to here, along the duration, it does not become more transparent. It doesn't start becoming transparent until this area. So like right around here is where it suddenly becomes transparent. All right, so that actually got us pretty close pretty quickly. Now I'm just leaving the shadow here. You probably wouldn't do both the shadow and the sparkles. I just don't want to break what we already have in place. So now what we're going to do is we're going to disable the sparkles by at the beginning. So going to do a same routine where we take the particle system, put it on top of carry. That way it becomes a child. And then we create another variable. So in the carry con script, so public transform sparkle, I'll do SYS, let me know it's a particle system. Completely arbitrary, that naming. Save it. Go back to carry. There's that new variable. Take the particle system, put it there, and then we have to shut it off in the start area. So same approach, you put the name of the variable first. Let's make sure that's the proper syntax. No error message. Good. And now, we just reverse this, that when you charge, it gets activated. The space. There you go. Now, one problem is that if you notice the sparkles were like right there right away. They're like just suddenly there. It's not pre-warmed, so I'm not quite sure why that happened. Usually pre-warmed is when they're already out there. So, I'm trying to think if there's really any way to... I suppose we could add a start delay, but then I believe it would still appear all at once. Let's try it though. Let's add a 0.1, so just so there's something. That really didn't help. Like add half a second. There we go. That actually kind of took care of it. I wasn't certain because particle systems are a little bit hard when you're dealing with them, but I like that effect. Because now, rather than appearing back here, it really looks like it comes out. Okay. So that was actually rather quick. So I'll tell you what. Since that was so fast, let's do another particle system. This one will be like a smoke particle system, so maybe it'll be just like along her heels. So game object, particle system. Again, we're going to rotate it. Again, we'll go and change the shape so it's not such a profound cone. I'm actually going to make a bunch of changes. So it's hard to see, but there's a little dot there. We're going to shrink this in, then bring it down to her heels. And this isn't quite lined up right. So it's negative 180 and 90. There we go. So let's have this start. So whereas the other one, we create a new material, we're going to use the default particle. So let's have it start smaller. So start size is going to be like 0.1. Start lifetime will be just 1 second. Start color, let's make it like a dark gray. For emission, let's make it like 300. Let's run it. It's kind of challenging to see because it's a blue background. I can already tell that's going to run too long, so also let's smoke. Let's change the start speed. As you can see, it doesn't last as it lasts the same amount of time, but it doesn't go out as far of a distance because it's a slower speed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change the size over time so it gets bigger. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to adjust start size up again, but then we're going to bring it back down. So size of a lifetime, you get like this little bar here, you get the graph. We're going to have the dust start off small and then grow out big. you can see, it's like a cloud here and gets kicked up here. So speed's probably still a little bit too fast. So let's make that 3. And let's bring the start lifetime down just a little bit. And we'll actually make the size. Can we go over 1? Well, you can click here and change this number. So say 1.5. So now rather than going up to 100% of the start size, we're going up to 150%. So how's that look? Yeah, see, it goes out even more now. Now let's just lower this a bit because it's not really coming off of our heels. And then same approach. We're going to create a new transform variable. So we'll call this one dustSys. Disable it. And then enable it. And now we just have to put the dust system onto carry. There's no variable. There you go. So you probably wouldn't do all those effects, but sometimes you do see a complex set of effects. So there you have smoke, there you have sparkles, there you have the shadow. Just mix and match whatever you think looks right. So I think that's about it for this video. I wasn't intending on this series being very long, so I'm not sure if I'll add much more. There's a few more things you can do. Like, rather than just doing particle systems, you could actually instantiate something that stays there. Like maybe when you charge forward, you kick up rocks, and so the rocks are actual objects that stay there. Something like that. And it doesn't have to be a person. Maybe you have a car that's like peeling off, and so you'd leave behind tire tracks, things like that. All right, so I think that's it for this one.